Here on ABC. We are the home of the U.S. and the World Championships in this important Olympic year. Over the next 3 hours, we'll see both the technical and artistic programs. The ladies will take the ice a little bit later, featuring Nancy Kerrigan and Ekaterina Gordieva. And with us, as always, is an Olympic champion who's right at home here in the Bay Area, Peggy Fleming. And Peggy, there's another Olympic gold medalist who will be skating in front of a hometown crowd, Kristi Yamaguchi.
Well, yes, Terry, you know, Kristi Yamaguchi won this event last season, so she definitely has the edge. And in the last 6 years since she won the '92 Olympics, she's gained a lot of performing confidence. And I think her touring experience has helped her stretch artistically. Kristi really respects the role her Olympic medal has cast her in, and she's always the one to beat at any event she enters. By nature, Kristi is a shy, reserved champion, but I know that this hometown crowd will really bring out her personality.
We'll see Kristi and the other ladies a little bit later. First up, though, the men, including Brian Boitano and Victor Petrenko. And we turn our attention to two-time Olympic gold medalist Dick Button. Dick, this has to be a special event for Rudy Galindo. It marks the first time he'll compete in this arena in his hometown since that dramatic win at the U.S. Championships 2 years ago.
Well, you know, it's got to be a special moment for Rudy. It wasn't very long ago that he was an almost forgotten skater, but he had a vision of what skating should be and the willingness to pursue it well beyond what any other reasonable person would have been expected to do. Now, who can forget the performance to end all performances he gave in this arena at the 1996 National Championships?
Now here's a look at the order in which they'll skate in the men's technical program. Rudy Galindo and Brian Boitano from the Bay Area. They lead it off. Then it's Victor Petrenko and Paul Wiley.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first part of our event, the men's technical program, and our first competitor is Rudy Galindo.
With many who are in attendance for that magical moment a couple of seasons ago here in the San Jose Arena, they're watching as Rudy Galindo from San Jose takes the ice. Most of them know what he's gone through to get to this point in his career.
Skating to Ice Castles, the movie soundtrack.
Look at the calmness and the control over these edges.
Nice opening triple flip, triple toe loop.
A triple axel coming up. It's like he took a deep breath 2 years ago and hasn't had a bit of nerves since that time.
Well, I'm sure that this building, skating in this again, brings back very fond memories of real confidence. Rudy has such wonderful line and stretch and beautiful technique in his jumps.
Even more in his spins. Look at that position.
Very flexible.
It's a better layback than we see on most of the women who are more flexible. And look at that for a stretched leg, a pointed foot, a turned out position.
And that is one of his signature spins.
quite a performance to start off of this competition. I mean, that's as technically fine as they come.
You saw his sister Laura, also his coach, longtime mentor, helped really raise Rudy Galindo here in San Jose. They're still very, very close. Rudy told me that 2 years ago that win changed him and made him believe he should not listen to anyone but skate the way he wanted to skate, and he's doing that now as a professional.
Now, in this triple flip, what's the tightness of the legs, the stretch of them, the closeness of them? That's the only way you can make the necessary revolution. Look at that, very clean and very tight.
And this is a look at his signature spin. Look at the wonderful stretch. Very unusual position. Very nicely done.
Rudy and Laura awaiting his scores, and here in the technical program, there are two sets of marks, of course. The first, a technical mark worth 60% of the score, and the second, an artistic mark that is worth 40% of the score here in this program. And the first set of marks for Rudy Galindo, they range from 9.6 up to 9.8.
Now, I think those marks are very low because there has been a very strong push in the professional world not to throw out tens.
By the way, the high and low scores, which you see in gray, are dropped. The other five are added together. And the artistic marks ranging, well, the 9.7s and 9.8s for Rudy, a total of 97.2, and he sets the standard.
97.2.
When we return, the dominant force in men's professional skating in the 90s, Brian Boitano, the '88 Olympic champion, takes the ice. 1998 will mark the 10th anniversary of Brian Boitano's Olympic triumph. It's been a decade of new challenges and personal growth, a process that will not soon end.
Athlete, producer, entertainer, businessman. Brian Boitano has done it all, and he has no plans to slow down anytime soon. Boitano spent the last decade turning Olympic gold into a springboard for opportunity. He became a success not only because of his skating ability, but because of his vision. Like most medalists, tour offers poured in after the Olympics, but unlike the rest, Boitano turned most of them down to start his own company, which he named White Canvas.
An artist starts off with a blank sheet of canvas, and you create what you want. If you do it yourself, you have more control, and I like having the control. I like seeing the fruition of something starting from the bottom, and it's a lot of fun for me to be able to do these kind of things exactly how I want to do it.
White Canvas has grown from a blank sheet to a company that produced 4 skating shows this year, and Brian continues to diversify. His book is out next month, and he can be found right here on ABC Sports.
This is going to be one of the toughest programs he'll ever have to do.
Through it all, the constant in Brian's life is the love and support of those closest to him.
Linda is not only a coach, but she's mostly a manager. And it's been 25 years that we've been working together. And she's someone that knows me well enough to really sort of answer for me. I have my father taking care of my money. My sister's my accountant. So I keep it all in the net. It releases me to focus on different ideas. It allows me to focus on White Canvas or my own skating so that I can dedicate all my time to thinking about creative things.
At 34 years old, Brian continues to push himself physically, but he realizes that his career won't last forever, a fact he may have trouble accepting, but is nonetheless prepared for.
I'm going to have trouble when I stop skating, I'm sure, because even now when I have a month to myself, I sort of, twiddle my fingers and I don't know what to do. That's part of the reason that I started White Canvas, because I know that goes past my performing days.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Brian Boitano.
Well, if you thought Brian Boitano couldn't get any better, he told me yesterday that he's in his best shape in many, many years to start a season from nearby Sunnyvale, California.
And Brian seems to be very inspired with this new number choreographed by Laurie Nickel, who also works with Michelle Kwan.
Concerto for piano and orchestra in B. Jules Massenet.
Brian is opening with his signature move, this Tano triple Lutz. Arm over the head.
Oh, now notice how he dropped forward on that. That's almost very similar to what happened to him at the 1994 Olympics, where he
lurched forward, and it really cost him that championship. I think this was a far weaker mistake, a far smaller mistake. This music suits him so well as he enters this triple axel. Oh, not his night.
Double toe. Brian has such wonderful control over his edges and his beautiful spread eagles that he uses so well in programs.
Is a big skater. He really covers the ice and commands it in many ways. He is not good at small steps or quick moves, but what he is good is at strength and position and speed and edging. Well, boy, that was an interesting evening for Brian. Not his best moment. I think he was slightly off on many of the jumps. Just they just didn't land with the usual grace and ease that he has. And it was a hard program for him to push.
The fall early on, but remember, this is only the technical program, the artistic one to come a little bit later on. So Brian Boitano is still in the hunt.
Now, look at the strength that he uses to step up into this triple axel, but watch the body, the lean of it. Right there, it begins to fall out of the circle. And I think that was the clue to the problem.
Brian Boitano and his coach, Linda Lever, looking at the first set of marks, the technical marks, and they range from 9.5 up to 9.7. Those aren't as good as Rudy Galindo's.
Remember, the range is very low here, and that's intended to be.
9.6. 9.7.
The second set of marks, the artistic ones, range from a low of 9.5 up to a high of 9.8. So it's a total of 96.5 for Brian Boitano. Well, the man who succeeded Brian as Olympic champion, Victor Petrenko, skates when we return to San Jose here on ABC Sports.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Victor Petrenko.
Well, here's the 1992 World and Olympic champion who is also a new daddy. 3-month-old Victoria. He and his wife, Nina. Victor Petrenko, of course, coached by Nina's mother, Galina Zmievskaya.
In the music he's chosen, Romeo and Juliet, both from the movie and the ballet. One composed by Nino Rota and the other by Sergei Prokofiev.
And I think this number really brings out the best qualities in Victor. His power and height in his jumps and the speed he gets over the ice.
Look at that triple axel. Oh, that was a beauty. Notice how clean and perfectly positioned the landing edge was. This move, a triple toe loop. Telling the story of Romeo and Juliet, but I'm not quite sure what all the arm movements add up to.
Well, he told us he is the storyteller. He is not playing Romeo. I guess he's trying to express it, at least in part, with his arms.
But Victor is a very versatile performer. He can do real dramatic numbers, but he can also get down and do rap and turn his hat backwards, and he's very talented.
Interesting combination, the romanticism of the Nino Rota music and this, the strength of the Prokofiev. It's an interesting complement.
Nice triple toe, very confident.
End of program, end of story, end of Romeo.
Well, I think there are a tremendous number of different influences in this program. I mean,
It was like sort of a fraction of what Rudolf Nureyev did, that Kenneth McMillan designed for him. A little bit of the two-dimensional quality of Anthony Tudor, and I guess a whole lot of herbs and sauces of his own devising to come up with this rather unique proposal.
The Petrenko version of a classic.
Victor Petrenko.
Now, watch this triple axel, particularly the landing. Straight body, right there. See how nice that landed, right stretching into a back edge. That was very good.
And this was his very different ending, his version of the end of Romeo and Juliet.
9.8.
And there's Victor with Galina Zmeyevskaya, his mother-in-law and coach.
9.9.
And the technical marks very high, 9.8 and 9.9. The best that we have seen so far.
The jumps really were wonderful, and that's what they're rewarding, I think, in this mark.
The interesting, you were kind of troubled in terms of all the hand movements. We'll see what the judges thought in terms of the artistic marks.
Well, here, these you can see are lower.
9.7 up to 9.9. So they're not as high as the technical marks, but they are good enough to put Victor Petrenko in the lead over Rudy Galindo and Brian Boitano here in the technical program.
The total score, 98.2.
And from one master of the dramatic to another, 92 Olympic silver medalist Paul Wiley skates after this message and a word from our ABC station.
ABC Sports coverage of the Anastasia U.S. Pro Figure Skating Championships continue.
We're back in San Jose Arena, and a reminder, be sure you're with us next Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern, noon Central and Pacific. We'll be at Thrifty Car Rental Skate America International. America's Olympic hopefuls, Tara Lipinski, the 97 world champion, and of course, the 96 world champion who won a silver last year, Michelle Kwan. Todd Eldridge, four-time U.S. men's champion and the 96 world champion, will be there. New programs, the first major international competition of the season.
Final competitor now in the men's competition, Paul Wiley.
There's the 1992 Olympic silver medalist who almost won this event a year ago. He finished in second place. Here is Paul Wiley.
The music on the waterfront, Leonard Bernstein.
Paul takes command of the ice differently than other skaters do. Instead of sheer power, Paul does it with his stretch, his line, and his intensity.
Jump.
Paul told us yesterday that whenever he takes the ice right now, it's with a certain poignancy with every step, because this may indeed be his last year as a full-time professional skater. He's thinking about going back and pursuing his education with either business or law. He's already a graduate of Harvard and has put that off for the last 7 years.
such a wonderful performer. He uses every ounce of talent he was given.
Well, for me, I've got to tell you, that's one of the great performances, I think, of skating. This program, it is really, number one, a serious program. The music is fulfilling. It sweeps with the edges. It gives them great strength. There's no fripperies. There's no anything excess. I think he's the best interpreter of music on the ice.
There seems to be meaning to everything that he does out there, doesn't it?
Well, that was serious music and serious skating. Now, look at this triple X. He sometimes has problems with this, but look at the back to stretch out on the leg. And now, as he lands it, he'll drop forward just a little bit. Same thing Brian Boitano did at the start of his program.
And this is a look at his final scratch spin. Very fast, very much in control, and very much to the music. Every expression has a meaning.
He's only 5'4". He doesn't seem it when he takes the ice. Sitting alongside his coach, Mary Scottfold now, and the marks for technical 9.5 up to 9.7 the range. The crowd expected better.
Well, I think it's because I didn't see a triple axel. I didn't see some of the other. Remember, this is a technical program.
And the technical mark worth 60% of the score.
But these marks are higher, and they reflect, I think, the interpretation of the program.
The artistic marks 9.7 up to 9.9 for Paul Wiley. So those much better than the technical ones. So halfway through the men's competition, here are the standings. Victor Petrenko is the leader, just ahead of Rudy Galindo. Brian Boitano in third still has a chance, but a disappointing technical program for him. Right now he's standing by with our Leslie Visser.
Terry, a very intricate, complicated program, but Brian, not your best tonight.
I had a very rough night. You know, it was weird. I had the greatest warm-up. I did everything exactly how I wanted to, and I came back and I sort of lost my legs. My legs were shaking when I went out there, and I think it probably is part due that's a very difficult program. It's my first competition out, and I was nervous because it's a giant step forward for me.
All right, Leslie, Brian will have a chance to make amends a little bit later on, but right now we're getting set for the ladies' technical program. Some of the biggest names in skating on the ice. Kristi Yamaguchi in front of a home crowd. And Ekaterina Gordieva. She made her debut at this event last year as a singles competitor. Also, Nancy Kerrigan, the 94 Olympic silver medalist. She'll be competing. We're set for the ladies' technical programs when we return to San Jose in a moment here on ABC Sports. Welcome back to the Anastasia U.S. Pro Figure Skating Championships here on ABC. Here is your skate order for the ladies' technical program. Ekaterina Gordieva leads off, followed by Kristi Yamaguchi, then Nancy Kerrigan, Denise Bielman, and Karen Kadavy. This technical program is worth 50% of the overall score, and the technical marks in this portion of the competition are more heavily weighted, or worth 60% of the score here.
Ekaterina Gordieva.
She finished second in this event a year ago as she made her debut as a singles competitor. Here is Ekaterina Gordieva, the two-time Olympic pairs champion.
But she still has that wonderful speed over the ice, which was her strength as a pair skater.
The music, the umbrellas of Cherbourg. Triple jumps have always been a little bit of a difficulty for her.
Oh, very nice.
Her most dangerous move, the forward edge on the double axel. At least she didn't fall down. Intended to be a triple toe loop, turned into not even a successful double flip.
But she has such a beautiful, expressive face and beautiful body line.
And we all love her, but I'm afraid this is a technical merit mark we're going to see shortly.
It's a very difficult thing going from pair skating to singles.
Isn't she
What
exquisite?
a beautiful girl.
You know, her skating is so light and so delicate that it really makes you feel comfortable watching her. It's almost like your little girl performing.
Yeah.
And I think you fall in love with her the second she steps on the ice. But the technical merit was not there in this performance.
Well, it's her second year as a singles competitor, and she tells us she feels much more confident this year than she did a year ago, and much more of a connection with the audience.
Now look at the delicacy of this triple toe loop. The lightness of it, the airiness of it. Very nice. Little bit of a swinging leg, but beautiful.
And here's a look at her attempted triple toe that turned into a double flip that didn't even make a double flip.
I think that comes as part of the problem of changing your mind at the last minute.
Right.
Katerina Gordieva, along with someone you recognize from Viktor Petrenko's program, Galina Zmievskaya, her coach. The technical marks, 9.5s and 9.6s, Dick.
And that's justifiable. She did not have a great deal of the difficult athletic content. The fact that we loved the rest of her skating had nothing to do with it.
But the judges can express that as well.
In this mark right here, which is why it is higher at 9.7, 9.8, and 1.96.
Technical marks, though, worth 60% of this technical program, so it means a little bit more than the artistic mark. First skater, Katerina Gordieva. And coming up next, the 92 Olympic champion from Fremont, California, Christy Yamaguchi, when we return here on ABC Sports. Christy Yamaguchi is an icon in the world of figure skating, but she dreams of making an impact beyond her sport and has taken an important step in that direction.
I just recently set up my own foundation. It's called the Always Dream Foundation, and its main goals are to support children's causes and to really just try to, make a positive difference in the lives of children. So I have one annual event right now, and we're hoping to expand that and support charities around the country.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Christy Yamaguchi.
You get the feeling that this crowd has waited throughout this entire night to welcome this skater onto the ice. The 1992 Olympic champion from nearby Fremont, California, is Christy Yamaguchi.
And it's the great Louis Armstrong.
A kiss I've been a dreamer in my imagination will drive upon that kiss.
There's a lot of campy attitude in this number. It's choreographed by Sandra Bezic.
And not that she needed help, but you automatically get the crowd on your side when they hear Louis Armstrong.
Right. Coming up as a triple Lutz. She is the only woman in this competition attempting this. Nicely done.
Kiss me once, and kiss me twice, and kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. Haven't felt like this, my dear, since can't remember when. It's been a long, long time. You never know how many dreams I dream about you. Just like the day on scene.
Nice triple flip, double toe combination.
Very easy, isn't it, the whole thing?
Very solid. Her technique is wonderful. You can always count on her being very consistent.
I touch your lips and all at once the sparks go flying. Those devil lips that know so well are lying. And though it finds me, it turns me into ashes. If I'm a slave, then it's a slave I want to be. Don't pity me, don't pity me. She only let me borrow. Love is divine, let us have a take tomorrow. I know that I must let your kiss all for it to me. Oh, it comes to me.
Nice triple loop.
and I'll give you
Ooh, that was a slip off of that toe pick.
I think that was attempted to be a triple toe.
give her the right.
Well, it's unusual that your toe slips off in that kind of a situation, but it does happen.
But she recovered very quickly. That's what you have to do when something like that happens.
Give me your kisses. I'm willing to start, and I'll give you my heart.
She has very tight turns in the air, and I think that accounts for the security of her triple jumps.
Fun.
She likes that number.
I think she does. Well, she skated very well, except for that one little bobble that she covered up very well at the very end.
I think it was a very gentle program. It certainly wasn't a gangbusters kind of number that is going to blast it out, but very charming, very sensitive, and
Very Louis Armstrong.
and very sweet.
And the crowd out of their seats here in San Jose for the hometown hero, Kristi Yamaguchi.
Now watch the triple lutz. The tightness of the turn, the speed of it. Very, very clean. You can't ask for more than that.
And here is her combination triple of a triple flip, double toe combination. Nice speed in between. Very solid jumps, very straight in the air.
Now, on this toe jump, watch the toe pick. It'll slip right off, and nothing happens, and she just keeps right on skating. Not often that you see that.
Kristi Yamaguchi, along with her coach, Christy Ness, and as expected, very high technical marks.
They are. She did a lot of triple jumps, and that's what they're counting. You know, she's the only one to do a triple lutz,
And so far, that's, I think, puts her in first place.
The artistic marks, not quite as high, but in that ballpark. 9.7 up to 9.9.
9.7.
And she's not thrilled, but she's pleased with what took place and the judges' marks, too. And she is the leader.
98.1.
Up next, Nancy Kerrigan makes her return to competitive skating. After this message and a word from our ABC stations. Nancy Kerrigan gave birth to her first child last December, and tonight's performance marks her return to professional competition. The arrival of Matthew gave her a new role. She's now a mother, wife, and athlete, a combination that has presented many challenges.
From the time she was 6 years old, Nancy Kerrigan's life was defined on the ice, but her decision to turn professional after the '94 Olympics marked a turning point. She married her agent, Jerry Solomon, and had a baby boy, Matthew. What's now more significant, her skating or her family?
Well, the birth of my son, but also my marriage and being married to Jerry. They're the most important things to me. Skating has been great, and I've had great experiences, but there's nothing more important than family.
While parenthood has become her priority, she couldn't wait to get back on the ice. Though demands on her time are exhausting, she isn't ready to give up what made her who she is.
I know it's a job, but I love it. I'm very lucky to love my job. It's a lot of fun. I love being in front of the people and performing, but I don't want to, kill myself to be skating like an amateur. I'm 28 years old and I can't do it. I mean, I probably could if I had the time and if I wanted to commit myself to that time, but I don't. So I'd like to have more children sooner rather than later. I think that'll determine a lot of what I'll do. And so if I can be in shape after even having another one, maybe I'll do an event here or there, but I'm sure it'll be less and less.
A lot has happened since her silver medal back in 1994 at the Olympic Games, and here she is now competing as a professional. Nancy Kerrigan.
Indian in the cupboard.
From the movie, which obviously explains the costume.
Well, Nancy is a very powerful skater, but there's also a softness to her style.
close to in a triple Salchow, but there was like no energy that went into it at all.
I think she's lacking a little bit of confidence in her skating these days.
Peggy, you have two sons, and Nancy's is almost a year old now. How long do you think it does take to get back on the ice and compete at that level?
Well, it takes quite a while. I mean, to get your skating legs back after you have a baby, and it's hard to go out in front of the crowd again. And seeing if the crowd really accepts you as a mom and a skater. So it's a new experience for her.
Ooh.
Save that one.
That was a wonderful, wonderful save. Triple toe loop and needed at this point in the program.
Nice to see her back.
Yes, yes. Evie and Mary Scottfold, her coaches from Olympic days.
Nancy Kerrigan,
the bronze medalist at the 92 Olympics, and of course the silver medalist in Lillehammer in 94, Nancy Kerrigan.
And this was a nice opening move of a double toe into a triple toe combination. Very nice start to her program.
And in this move, watch the landing. Triple toe loop and a way down and around, but beautifully moving into that position.
And here's a look at her double axel. She has such power in her jumps. Nice controlled landing. She's still got it.
now technical marks for Nancy Kerrigan. 9.6. 9.6.
So Nancy Kerrigan out of breath a little bit. Looking at her marks and the technical marks, 9 6s and 9 7s.
And 9.7.
Andy Scottfold, one of her coaches, along with his wife Mary.
9.7. 9.6.
And the artistic marks,
9.7.
again, 9 6s and 9 7s.
9.6 and 9.6.
So Nancy Kerrigan with those marks here in the technical program moves into second place. She's right behind Kristi Yamaguchi and right ahead of Katerina Gordieva at this point. And coming up, the 4-time world professional champion, Denise Bielmann of Switzerland, skates when we return. The crowd here at San Jose Arena watching the Anastasia U.S. Pro Figure Skating Championships. This is the ladies' technical program. The artistic programs come a little bit later in the evening, and taking the ice right now, the 3-time Swiss ladies champion and the 1981 world champion here is Denise Bielmann.
Well, Denise's titles as a professional have greatly outweighed her titles as an amateur skater, and she's a very serious competitor.
And I think this program shows her strength as an athlete. This lady is one super athlete.
choreographed this number, and I think I see Robin's influence is very apparent in this number. I can see the difference in the way she follows through with her arm movements and her upper body. Nice triple falco.
Look at the ease of that jump.
Effortless.
I mean, it's hard to believe that Denise is 34 years old, weighs only 100 pounds, strong as they come, and just has such security. I mean, she has been so consistent for such a long period of time.
It's been 16 years since she won the Worlds in 81. This is a remarkable.
And she keeps winning championships left and right.
Yeah.
That's a very unusual fall for her. You notice she had complete control of the axle. The edge slipped out. Not affected at all by that slip.
Signature spin, the Beelman spin. Spectacular position.
Interesting. I've rarely seen her ever slip and make a mistake, and I think that was an unusual one tonight. I feel there's a lot of pressure on these skaters. You know, this is the first major competition of the season, and I think they've got to settle into it a little bit more.
Beelman.
Now, watch this as she does this double axel. Lands it just fine right there, way over, then so far over that I think she gets onto the edge of her boot and slips out.
Kristi Yamaguchi relaxing backstage following her technical program. She's in first place here in the technical programs for the ladies. The artistic one still to come. And Denise Beelman awaiting her marks. There they are, the technical marks, 9.5 up to 9.8.
And I think those are pretty good marks.
Did the fall really hurt her?
Well, it shouldn't have, because she completed the jump. She was on the edge, and then she just leaned too far. So that should not have been a serious problem.
I heard a groan from the crowd a minute ago. They thought they'd be higher. She, along with her mother, Heidi, who is also her coach, the artistic marks 9.5 up to 9.9. So Denise Beelman with marks that are good enough to move her up ahead of Nancy Kerrigan into second place, right behind the leader, Kristi Yamaguchi.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Karen Kadavi.
So it's time for the final competitor in the ladies' technical program, the four-time medalist at the U.S. Nationals and the bronze medalist at the 87 World Championships, 29-year-old Karen Kadavi.
Karen's biggest competitor has always been her confidence. She battles it every time she gets on the ice, but when she wins the battle, she can be very magical.
Rogers and Hammerstein at their best. One thing you can say about Karen Kadavi is that she is elegant, graceful, and presents a very beautiful picture.
Jump planned is a triple loop.
Ooh, you can see the takeoff edge of that.
Right.
She skidded right into the takeoff edge. That wouldn't not have surprised me if that had been a place where she hit an edge. Very elegant.
Oh, she just floats over the ice.
But a frustrating performance because this is the technical program.
That's right, and this is not going to give her very good marks.
But it certainly is pleasant to watch, absolutely. 29-year-old Karen Kadavi.
And here's a look at her triple loop jump. You can see at this take off the back edge where she started to lean, and there was no way to save that triple. She couldn't complete the revolution.
So Karen Kadavi with her coach Evelyn Kramer. She, of course, was coached during her amateur career by the late Carlo Fassi. And the technical marks, 9.4 up to 9.6. You can read the frustration on her
the
face.
Disappointment there. I think, though, that we'll see higher marks in the artistic range, which we are, actually.
Yeah, 9.5 up to 9.8. So much better for the artistic marks, but disappointing technical program for Karen Kadavi. So here's a look at the standings after the ladies' technical programs. Christy Yamaguchi, the crowd favorite, in first, right ahead of Denise Bielman, who is very impressive with her program. Nancy Kerrigan in third, and Ekaterina Gordieva in fourth place. The men are now back on the ice. They're getting ready for their artistic program, and the 1992 Olympic champion, Victor Petrenko, he's the leader right now, but it's a slim lead over the man who made history in this very arena, Rudy Galindo. He'd love to create another magical moment here. And looming in third, one of the greatest figure skaters of all time, Brian Boitano. The men skate for the championship. when we return. Welcome back, everyone, to the Anastasia U.S. Pro Figure Skating Championships as they continue here on ABC. We're getting set for the men's artistic programs, and here is how they stand. Victor Petrenko in the lead ahead of Rudy Galindo. Then it's Brian Boitano and Paul Wiley. And hi again, everyone. Terry Gannon along with Dick Button. And Dick, based on what you've seen so far, what do you expect here in the artistic portion?
Well, one thing I expect and I hope to see is that Brian Boitano gets his feet under him. I think he's got to take a deep breath, get his legs back under him, and relax. Sometimes he works so hard that he just, it takes him extra long time to relax and move into this kind of a performance. Victor Petrenko skated brilliantly. Whether having that little baby girl did it for him or not, I don't know, but he was quite wonderful. Rudy Galindo is, of course, one of the favorites here. I think it's going to be a very interesting competition, provided these guys can relax now and settle into it and get their competitive legs back.
And it will be Paul Wiley taking the ice first here in the artistic programs for the men. Brian Boitano in third, trying to move up. Then Rudy Galindo and Victor Petrenko. Glad you're with us. Terry Gannon, Dick Button, and Peggy Fleming here at the San Jose Arena in the Bay Area of California. And there is Paul Wiley. Somewhat of a disappointing technical program for Paul, and this is one he feels very strongly about here.
Music Go the Distance by Michael Bolton.
It symbolizes, Peggy, his entire career.
This program has a lot of emotion, which he sells so well. Choreographed by Mary Scott-Wolf.
Look at how fleet that is. That flow over the ice, the edging. Powerful and strong. He has been for years a wonderful skater.
And the voice keeps saying, this is where I'm meant to be. I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong.
Paul has wonderful stretch and line in his skating. One of his best qualities.
Nice triple toe loop.
Very nicely done.
Even though he's inconsistent on those triple jumps, there's really extraordinary edging with this young man. Look at the speed and the strength and the security of the edges.
And he uses the music so well. Every move choreographed with a lot of feeling. performer.
He's the best interpreter of music, I think, in the business.
I definitely agree.
Paul Wiley, a second-place finisher in this event a year ago, will have his marks after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Gentlemen, Eric Milo.
He skated pretty well in his technical program, but finds himself in fourth place trying to move up here in the artistic portion. The four-time French national champion, Eric Millot.
And this music out there from the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Nice opening triple toe.
But there was energy in that, wasn't there?
Good spring.
By the way, the technical marks for Paul Wiley range from 9.5 up to 9.7. His artistic marks were better, ranging from 9.7 up to 9.9, but it may be tough for him to move up from fifth place.
I am your only friend. Remember what I taught you, Quasimodo. You are deformed. I am deformed. And you are ugly. And I am ugly. And these are crimes for which the world shows little pity. You do not comprehend. Out there they'll revile you as a monster. Out there they will hate and scorn and jeer. Why invite their calumny and consternation?
Triple flip. Oh, nice and clean. Very energetic. Under complete control. Remember, the marks here, 40% only for technical merit, 60% for the interpretation and the artistry of the number.
All my life I never liked places, knowing that they will never know me. All my life I wonder how it feels to pass a day not above them, but part of them. And up there, living in the sun, give me one day.
Those edges on these jumps are very secure. Here's the loop jump. It's almost as if any pressure that possibly existed has been lifted right off his shoulders.
Gaining confidence as he skates. The evening wears on.
This number was choreographed by Robert Wagenhofer. And I think it goes beyond just choreography. There's a lot of acting involved in this program. Makes it very entertaining.
Just one day and then I swear I'll be content with my share. Worries and woes there, oh, and then I won't care. I'll have one day out there.
Great performance by Eric.
Well, he put a lot of energy into this and a lot of exuberance. Really great confidence. Good for him. He has wanted this professional career for a long time, and he's made a very healthy and happy start in it.
His first competition as a professional, and no matter where he finishes, Eric Millot has got to be thrilled with the way he skated.
Now, look at this triple flip. The energy and the security in it. That's first rate.
His first pro competition brings a smile of satisfaction.
9.8.
You could see, as you mentioned, Dick, the pressure just roll off his shoulders after he got halfway through that routine.
Oh, absolutely. Right from the beginning, not halfway through it. There was no pressure on him because he was down quite far. But he wants this so badly, and he was loose about it, and that's what I think gave him the security in this.
Very good marks in terms of technical aspects. And then the artistic marks here, they are 9.8 and 9.9 for Eric Millot of France.
Very nice, very nice.
And the artistic marks in this portion of the competition are more heavily weighted. They're worth 60% of the score.
And 9.8.
So Eric Millot, great marks for him and a great artistic program. And coming up, Brian Boitano, who struggled a bit in the technical program, but he'll be skating what he thinks will be a signature program for him in the artistic. That comes up next.
This is about who's best, not about anybody's age. Being champion means I'm really competing against myself.
The Road to Nagano starts next Sunday on ABC.
The Anastasia U.S. Pro Figure Skating Championships continue here on ABC as Brian Boitano takes the ice, and this is a new program that he already loves and thinks will be one of his best.
Shenandoah, they call the wind Mariah.
Well, he likes this number so much he thinks it may possibly be a signature piece for him. It was choreographed by Leanne Miller.
And performed by Frank D'Ambrosio. Talk about a great move. Look at the flatness of that. The total lean, no break in the body from head to toe. A little double foot on the landing. Certainly clean and straight up.
Ryan in third place after the technical program, so he needs a big effort here.
great on these big sweeping moves.
And Brian really understands how to harness the power of the music he chooses.
Look at the entrance to this death drop. Very strong performance. I think that's the type of number that he feels comfortable with and performs brilliantly. The 1988 Olympic champion in his home area. Here in the Bay Area of California, and they love it.
And I think this very well could be a signature piece for Brian. Beautiful number.
Brian Boitano.
And here's a look at the Tano Lutz. Watch his arm go up over his head. That's what makes it so difficult and so unusual.
And this triple toe loop, very clean, unlike the little toe pick he had on the triple Lutz we just saw.
Now, ladies and gentlemen.
And Brian Boitano with a thank you for a standing ovation here at the San Jose Arena.
9.9.
Well, Brian Boitano has to be very pleased with that program, especially when you compare it to the technical one earlier this evening. He and Linda Lever looking at the marks. 9.7 up to 9.9 the first set.
At 9.8.
Now, he can take the lead. Remember, he was in third place
The artistic marks.
after the first program.
10.
Technical one. And the artistic marks, 9.7 up to a perfect 10. Very, very strong marks. Very strong marks. So after a disappointing technical program, Brian comes back with a very strong one and takes the lead among those who have skated their artistic program. Can he hold the lead, though? On the ice next, Rudy Galindo, who counts Brian among his idols, will have an entire arena on his side. Between Rudy Galindo and his sister and coach Laura is extraordinary. For more, here's Leslie Visser.
Terry, has been a Hollywood story with a happy ending. Rudy Galindo battled through depression and the loss of family, yet he emerged as one of the finest skaters in the world. And through it all, he credited his sister Laura for her sacrifice and support, for seeing his success through the eyes of love.
Everything that she did I thought was pretty cool. Then she started skating from a birthday party, and of course, whatever my sister had to do, I had to start too.
It was fun to have him tag along with me. It was. At times. At times, it was. Because that's all we knew was each other.
Rudy, Laura, and their brother George grew up in a trailer park in San Jose, surrounded by drugs and gangs. Their father, a truck driver, encouraged Rudy and Laura to skate. His absences and their mother's manic-depressive disorder left a little girl to play mom.
She had to take over my mom's mental illness and her being whisked away to the hospital and us staying in Los Angeles with my aunt. But Laura felt that it was her duty to take care of me as a young child.
And still do.
And still do.
We take care of each other.
Yeah, we do take care of each other.
Eventually, the cost became too great. Laura decided that she would be the one to give up skating, and so began the pattern of sacrificing for her brother. Rudy excelled on the ice. By age 13, he was already the men's national novice champion, and a year later, he also began to skate pairs with Kristi Yamaguchi.
We went up the rankings so fast, and I thought, this is it. We're going to the Olympics, and this is what I want. So I gave up singles because it just made it easier to compete in all in pairs. And once that was taken away, it was really devastating to me, and that's when it started going downhill from there.
Rudy's misfortune spiraled. In 1989, Rudy and Kristi's pairs coach Jim Hewlett died of AIDS-related cancer. Then, after 7 years together, Kristi decided to focus solely on singles. Rudy slipped into a lonely place. Competition after competition, Laura paid for coaches, costumes, training, and Rudy faltered. And the pain would only grow. In 1993, Rudy's father died of a heart attack. The following year, Rudy lost both his brother George and his coach Rick Inglesi to AIDS. With each loss on and off the ice, Rudy grew more bitter until he said, enough.
I think he was sick and tired of himself, feeling sorry for himself. He wanted to grow up inside him, took off that shell and said, this is who I am, and I'm going to do it myself, and stop putting blame on people.
At the 1996 Nationals in his hometown of San Jose, Rudy decided to give skating one last try. He skated for himself, his family, and everyone he had lost, and he did it with Laura as his coach.
What Rudy needed from me was the emotional support, the love, and just the encouragement. He really needed someone to go, you could do it, and believe in himself, and I did believe in him.
Finally over. Rudy Galindo was a winner.
They're yelling sick. The chant of six going up.
Gold was followed by bronze at the World Championships, and now he has an illustrious pro career. Success has brought many rewards.
Now that I succeeded, it's all come back to me, and I've realized how much Laura has actually done for me. So now my role is to make sure that she's set and my mom's set for life.
Rudy Galindo.
It has been a long, tragedy-filled road that few would want to travel, but Rudy Galindo has had the support of his sister and coach Laura, and he is now a top professional skater in second place after the technical program.
Well, this is a really fun number. It's obvious that television has had a big influence on Rudy Galindo. Last year it was I Love Lucy. This year it's the Brady Bunch.
Said he actually got this idea from being on tour on all the long bus rides, watching the movie over and over and over again, the Brady Bunch movie.
You know, when you get into a number like this, too, it loosens you up so that you don't feel quite the same strain that you do when you're entering into a triple jump. Now let's see if that holds true. And it did.
Marcia did it again. Marcia, Marcia,
Talk about layering.
I don't know which costume was more out there, the 70s pants or this one.
He's having way too much fun.
Very different performance than the one we just saw from Brian Boitano, a very different style.
Well, I think that's because the two are different type of personalities, and they skate with what is comfortable for them. Talk about a use of a prop.
Very clever. What a fun performance.
They liked it, and I think we did too.
This audience immediately stood up.
He can do no wrong in this arena. 2 years ago, the national championship, a standing ovation, and another one here tonight. The story of a man named Galindo. He told us he is no longer listening to anyone in terms of how he should skate on the ice. He's going to do it his own way, and he has been since that moment 2 years ago here. This was certainly pure Rudy Galindo tonight in San Jose.
9.9.
But it will be interesting to see how the judges rate his performance. His technical marks 9.7 up to 9.9.
9.8. 9.
What can I tell you? Coming off of Brian Boitano's performance,
Well,
which was so different.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with the comparison with Boitano. I think this is what the judges feel. How successfully was he, how creative was he in this number?
9.8. 9.9.
And here are the artistic marks for Rudy. They range from 9.7 up to 9.9. So that total moves him into first place in front of Brian Boitano in terms of those that have skated the artistic program. But there is one contender that remains, and he's formally attired. The leader after the technical program, Victor Petrenko. He'll skate next after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Welcome back to San Jose Arena with the final skater in the men's competition, Victor Petrenko. He's been called flashy and flamboyant. Now, just call him Dad.
3 months ago, Victor Petrenko found out that certain rewards in life are better than medals. He and his wife Nina discovered new joy in the arrival of baby Victoria.
You have such a feelings that you never experienced before. When she starts first smiling, when she goes the first time, and of course, if you have a support of your husband, and it's just the best days I ever had.
It's really exciting, and I've been saying many times, that's the best thing I ever done in my life.
Both on and off the ice, Victor's family is never far. Nina is his choreographer, and Nina's mom, Galina, is his coach. Victoria may not be old enough to put on skates, but Mom and Dad have already started judging.
Yes, for every parent, the child is like perfect.
6.0 for technique, and 6 for the artistic impression.
The pride of a new parent knows no bounds. New perspective on life. For the 1992 World and Olympic champion, Victor Petrenko, he is the leader after the technical program.
And here he is playing a very stiff concert pianist, a very formal man who kind of imagines himself a famous jazz performer. The music, Duango.
Victor said it was just too hard to bring a piano out of the ice.
I think he's improvising very well.
What he really imagines himself is a jazz pianist. He moves this way very well. And this is really his métier. He's comfortable in this kind of a role.
And he's very comfortable with the audience. He likes to play with them.
See, as good as he was in the first program, I think the style and the line and the concept of that wasn't nearly as comfortable for him as this is.
was the dream part of it.
Yes.
Laid-back performance from Victor Petrenko. It was jazz, after all, I guess.
Well, sure. No?
Absolutely. And he played it well, didn't he?
You're not going to catch me.
So Victor Petrenko trying to catch Rudy Galindo. We'll see what the judges think.
Victor Petrenko.
Now, this was intended to be a triple axel. It ended up being a very high, very nice double axel.
And this end with him playing the piano, his imaginary piano, was wonderful. Very cool performer.
You don't see the piano?
Very frustrated
Technical marks for
performer.
Victor Petrenko.
So we'll find out if it's Victor Petrenko who led after the technical program. Rudy Galindo leads as we speak ahead of Brian Boitano. The technical marks 9.7 up to 9.9, very similar to Rudy.
But there wasn't an extraordinary amount of technique in that program. So I think those marks are very justified.
9.9.
Victor, along with Galina Zmievskaya, his coach and mother-in-law.
9.8. 9.8. 9.
And now the artistic marks 9.7 up to 9.9, and that's just enough for Victor to take over the lead. So he is the winner, just edging out Rudy Galindo, who preceded him on the ice. Rudy backstage just finding out that he does not win. He finishes second here in San Jose. It's Victor Petrenko, the winner. Right now, let's go to Leslie Visser. Leslie?
Terry, he is known as a showman, and it showed this evening. Victor, congratulations. In what way did that reflect your personality?
Well, I'm very enjoyed to be here. I'm very proud to be over here and perform tonight with my new programs. And feels like people just very enjoy it. And it's turned me on. So, and it's one of those days when you really enjoy your skating. So,
Can you play the piano?
I wish, but never tried, and that's like a mimic. So I did that couple days practice, and it took me so. And looks like people really understand what I'm doing.
They got it. Congratulations to you, Victor. Back to you, Terry.
Thank you.
Well, Leslie, the judges certainly got it. Victor Petrenko, a first-time winner of this event. Rudy Galindo, a very close second, and Brian Boitano, who had a much stronger artistic program, finishes third. Well, the men are done, but the ladies certainly are not. We'll have their artistic programs when we return, featuring the current leader in front of a hometown crowd, Christy Yamaguchi. Denise Bielman, the three-time Swiss ladies champion and 81 world champion. Nancy Kerrigan will also be out there competing, trying to win a title. She's back on the ice competing as a professional now that she's a new mother. And a Katerina Gordieva, who made her debut at this event a year ago. The ladies championship to be decided when we come back to San Jose.
The following skating exhibition is a commercial message from 20th Century Fox, featuring professional pairs champions Anita Hartshorn and Frank Swiding, skating to the music from the motion picture Anastasia.
We're back in San Jose and ready now for the ladies' artistic program. Christy Yamaguchi with a slight lead over Denise Bielman. And hi again, everyone. Terry Gannon along with Peggy Fleming. Two very different skaters in terms of style in the top two spots, but similar in other ways. Peggy, what do you expect to see?
Well, Terry, I think the two top women are very consistent skaters. They're in first and second place. And I feel that they're both very serious about their training. They're very serious about their performances. And I think either one of them could win this title tonight. But I still think Christy will have that hometown advantage.
And Christy won this event a year ago. She is the leader after the technical program, followed by Denise Bielman, Nancy Kerrigan, and Ekaterina Gordieva. And they will skate in inverse order in this program, so Christy will take the ice last. Our first skater, though, is Ekaterina Gordieva, and she is skating to Smile, and dedicates it to Scott Hamilton, one of her true friends who helped her overcome the grief of losing her husband, Sergei Grinkov. Scott now facing his own battle with testicular cancer.
This number is about smile, that the people have to smile even when they go through the difficult time, and the smile will make you feel better. And it's actually when we create with Marina this program, we were thinking about dedicate this program to Scott Hamilton, because when he did his special, Charlie Chaplin special, Upside Down, and he invited me to do this special, and I liked it a lot. I liked the music there, and we thought that we can use this piece and just dedicate it for him.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Ekaterina Gordieva.
Ekaterina Gordieva in fourth place, looking to move up. Last year, this event, her first singles competition.
Skating to Smile.
Brought a big smile to her face.
Now, Katerina moved into a new home in Simsbury, Connecticut this summer, along with her 5-year-old daughter, Daria, who speaks fluent Russian and English. Many of us still struggling with English.
To see her do a very happy number and see her smile through it.
I think this style suits her perfectly, this style of number, the music.
Peggy, do you see a difference from when she was just starting out a year ago on her own?
I see a lot more confidence in her single skating. It's very difficult to make that transition, and it's a slow process of gaining that confidence. But she's getting there.
But this music is so good. The flow of it just matches the flow of the edges. There's nothing jerky or unattractive about it.
Tribute to her dear friend. Scott and Katya have helped each other through some of life's darkest moments.
They've been on tour together, been very close friends.
A really beautiful performance. She is just a lovely person and a lovely performer. I think your heart goes out to her, you know, just no matter what it is. She's like that little doll that you love to hold.
Your heart goes out to her as soon as she smiles.
And here is a look at her beautiful triple toe loop that she did at the beginning of the program. Nice height, good complete revolution, solid landing, and a beautiful smile.
Technical marks for the Katerina Gordieva.
So Katerina Gordieva, along with Galina Zmievskaya, also the coach for Victor Petrenko, of course. The technical marks, 9.5 up to 9.8, the range. Now, remember, the artistic marks worth more. They're worth 60% here in this program.
The artistic marks, 9.6, 9.8, 9.9.
And a reaction from the crowd. They finally get the number they wanted. The artistic marks better, 9.6 up to 9.9. So the judges like the artistic side of Gordieva much better.
Total score of 97.4.
And when we come back, it's the 94 Olympic silver medalist, Nancy Kerrigan, who will take the ice as our coverage continues from San Jose here on ABC.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Nancy Kerrigan.
And here is Nancy Kerrigan in third place after the technical program. Christy Yamaguchi, the leader after that program. So we'll see what happens here with Nancy.
She is still a stunning figure on this ice.
Getting to God Help the Outcasts from the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I think everyone is far more relaxed now and settling into this competition. The security is much greater.
Oh, very comfortable triple toe.
That's an athlete doing that. That's a flash of the old Nancy Kerrigan.
seen many times from the Olympics. Signature spiral.
Them all. The poor and unlucky, the weak and the odd. I thought we all were the children of
Very successful program for her.
Very much so. Nice to see her pull it all together.
Yep.
This was a very nice performance.
Nancy Kerrigan.
Now look at the confidence in this triple salchow, the strength in it. I mean, that's a good athletic move.
An emotional program, and Nancy told us you would not see a smile throughout the entire time she was on the ice. Maybe just a bit at the end.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the technical marks. 9.7.
Nancy Kerrigan in third place, looking to move up.
9.9.
Technical marks 9.7 up to 9.9, the range. Very good.
Yes, they're wonderful for her, and I'm very happy for her because it's tough, you know, to get yourself into this competitive shape again.
For Nancy Kerrigan.
Her baby boy born December 17th, 1996.
9.8, 9.8, 9.7, 9.7, and 9.8.
Nancy Kerrigan, the artistic marks, 9.7s and 9.8s. They're very good as well. So Nancy Kerrigan now moves ahead of Katerina Gordieva. She's in first place in terms of those that have skated the artistic program. And when we return, four-time world professional champion Denise Bielman skates. That's after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Welcome back to San Jose. More figure skating coming your way next Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern, noon Central and Pacific. We'll be at Thrifty Car Rental Skate America International. The 97 world champion Tara Lipinski will be there, as well as the 96 world champion Michelle Kwan will watch that rivalry throughout the year. The 96 men's world champion Todd Eldridge will also be there. They'll debut new programs, the first major international competition of the season, next Sunday here on ABC. But Denise Bielman takes the ice with a very realistic chance of winning here in San Jose in second place. Of course, Kristi Yamaguchi still to skate.
The music, Istanbul, composed and performed by Kennedy Simon.
I really respect the fact that Denise is 34 years old and has maintained her skating form and fitness for 16 years. She is very fit, takes her skating very seriously.
And it's a business for her now, too. She owns a whole line of equipment that is sold throughout Europe and fitness wear.
Well, it's very evident that she's been working out.
Ooh.
Oh, that's unusual to see her.
Yes, she's been off on this competition. Oh dear.
And she's injured.
Uh-oh. Not a good moment. Not a good moment.
She got up right away, and it looked like she was okay for a couple of steps, and then she immediately grabbed
her calf.
Her right calf.
Denise Bielman is, and never has been, any kind of a shirker or somebody who absolutely did not attack full and head on.
And she's going to be forced to leave the ice at this point. There's her mother and coach Heidi very concerned.
The clue here is the landing, the 2 feet that come down at the same time. That's called a two-toed or two-footed landing, and she frequently does that. watch it here again, and you'll see right as she comes down, the 2 feet right there on the ice. Now, the problem with that is that she could have twisted that free leg and caused the problem.
Gets up, skates away, then immediately goes down to the right leg and grabs that. And there's the trainer, Eric Lang, working on it. Looks like it's a cramp. That's...
Well, what it doesn't look like is a break or a, twisted ankle.
Obviously would be good news. Now, the rule states that if the interruption is caused by the skater, and there's the referee, Kerry Leach, of the International Professional Skating Union, if the skater causes the interruption, she can skate again, but she has to pick up the program where she left off. She can't start over. Christy Yamaguchi may be getting ready to go on the ice right now. Let's get a report right now from Leslie Visser. Leslie?
Terry, Denise Bielman has a cramp in her right calf. The trainer, Eric Lang, said she is going to ice it down. She told me it was pretty painful, but she would like to try to skate again. Terry?
All right, Leslie, so we'll see Denise Bielman again, but Christy Yamaguchi, who thought she had about 5 minutes or so to get ready, has to go onto the ice. The leader after the technical program. It's her event to win or to lose. Trying to hold off Denise Bielman.
Now this, appropriately, is called Teach Me How to Shimmy. Smokey Joe's Cafe.
Christy's always been a very consistent and reliable technician, but where I see the biggest improvement is her performing qualities. There's that consistency again. Nice triple toe. Side of Christy that a lot of people don't see very often. But this is very much a part of her normal personality off the ice.
Cute ending. Cute ending. Very good for her, and she for it.
Well, there's roughly a whole section of this arena filled with family and friends. They know that side of her personality. Didn't surprise them. One of the many great champions that have come out of this area of California. Christy Yamaguchi.
Now, look at the security in this double axel. First, the forward edge. Very nice. Clean edge, turn here, and a double toe loop.
And how satisfying it must be to skate so well here in San Jose in front of family and friends. So really two brilliant performances by Christy Yamaguchi here in her hometown, and now her marks, who awaits them along with Christy Ness. The technical marks very high, 9.8s and 9.9s.
And I think she deserves it because it was a very nicely performed program. Clean, easy, and lots of fun.
No, it was real complete. It had the technical side, and it was fun and well choreographed.
She had as much fun as anyone, too. I think you could tell. And the artistic marks, 9.8s and 9.9s as well. So they're very high. Christy Yamaguchi with great marks in first place. But remember, Denise Bielman will take the ice The cramp in her leg is better right now. They've worked it out, so she's not the champion yet. Christy's got to wait and see. We're back in San Jose. Denise Spielman back on the ice. Remember, she fell and suffered a cramp in her right leg. She can skate again, but she must pick up her program where it left off.
And that rule is in existence because the referee cannot allow any skater to come along and reskate the entire program just because they fell.
She still has a very realistic chance at winning.
You've got to remember, figure skating bends over backwards to help skaters. They don't knock them out as quickly as they would be in some other sport. It's very much a more genteel sport in the tradition of it.
In your opinion, is it an advantage to pick it up where you left off, or a disadvantage?
Well, I think that's the opportunity that she's given. It's neither an advantage nor a disadvantage. That's what she was given. She has no question. Of course, it would be better if she could have started it from the beginning. But look at that triple.
Had a lot of height, a lot of spring. And she probably has more energy because of this.
Look at these steps are wonderful. You know, you've got to hand it to her. She is one tough lady. She doesn't give up.
That is a temporary tattoo on her stomach to fit the program. Like you had one of those at the '68 Olympics, didn't you?
Really? No, I don't think so.
Thanks for destroying the illusion.
What a strong comeback that was.
I mean, I really have to take my hat off to Denise. I just think she's a wonderful performer, a very strong and consistent competitor. She has stayed in the best possible shape throughout her career, never gotten out of it for 1 minute,
Denise
and has just been a tremendous competitor.
Probably a number of skaters that wouldn't have come back out onto the ice after she had the cramp, but she came back out. Denise Spielman.
This is the triple toe loop that caused the problem. The landing again was the cause or the result of her cramp. Now, when she reskated, she went on to perform the spin that she is most famous for, this spin called the Bielmann. And after having a cramp in her leg, well, I find it almost mind-boggling to think what this spin is causing her now.
So Denise Spielman, the only one with a chance to overtake Christy Yamaguchi, but the scores better be very high. She and her mother, Heidi, looking at those, the technical marks 9.6 up to 9.8.
Well, she did a lot of very good moves there, but having missed that one major jump, I think cost her quite a bit in that point. But the artistic marks are really quite interesting. I mean, they show quite a range. Couple of 9.6s and a 9.9 from judge number 5, Barbara Wagner.
All the way up.
She
to
liked that number.
A gutsy performance by Denise Bielman, but not good enough to overtake Kristi Yamaguchi. It's the 92 Olympic champion who's a repeat winner in this event. And the champion right now in front of a home crowd is standing by with Leslie Visser.
Terry, she defended her title in style. Congratulations to you, Kristi. What felt good out there tonight?
Well, the crowd was obviously wonderful, and the second number has a lot of energy, so I was banking on them to get into the number and help me out. So they were great, and that really got me through.
And how much did it help having all your friends and family here at home?
It was wonderful, and just being able to perform for them and, you know, skate. I saw a bunch of them in the audience and got to wave to them. So, you know, hopefully they had fun tonight.
Well, she had about 30 people here in total. She says with the prize money, she's going to take them out to dinner. Terry?
Well, Leslie, better her than me picking up that check. That will be a hefty one with all the fans and family that she had here in the San Jose Arena. But Kristi Yamaguchi, the champion for the second straight year of this event. Denise Bielman, of course, with the injury, came back. A gutsy performance. She finishes second. Right now, she is standing by with Leslie Visser. Leslie?
Terry, she showed the heart of a warrior. Denise, can you say what happened, and had that ever happened before?
No, it never happened before, and it was just when I started in the first spin, I got a cramp in here, but I thought, try to go on, because I just didn't want to stop, and I had no, although I should have stopped, but I tried to do the triple, and afterwards it was even worse.
Well, you showed us why you were a world champion. Thank you, Denise. Terry?
All right, Leslie. So Kristi Yamaguchi skates and shimmies her way to her second consecutive title. The Anastasia U.S. Pro Championships, and Victor Petrenko, his 3-month-old daughter, will be very proud. Back with a final word in a moment. So the best in professional figure skating have gone head-to-head and helped usher in a brand new season. It's been a reminder of how wide the range of talent is, how varied the styles and techniques are, and how much we have to look forward to in the year ahead here on the home of the U.S. National and World Championships. For all of us at ABC Sports, we hope you enjoyed it. Good night from San Jose.